Hello everyone. So last time we talked to each other, well, it's been a little bit, but I posted a while back on my Patreon about how I was not happy with the darkening of my skin, though it was my fault because I wasn't consistently taking glutathione. So, and then also sun exposure. It's really hot in Florida right now. So I have finally done it. I started hydroquinone at first because I feel like I have a good supply of hydroquinone, like enough for a year, but I was just worried about like re-upping my prescription. But now I'm just like, screw it, like just use what you have, like, because the cream that it comes in, the cream is kind of thick, so you just have to add it like to a serum or something, and then you can get it all over your body. And seriously guys, the first day that I used it, I cut it with coconut oil just to see. The final, I guess, recipe will be using niacinamide serum, but I just cut it with coconut oil, and holy crap, the glow within the first 24 hours. I was like, okay, this is gonna work. But the prescription for hydroquinone that I have, it's not just hydroquinone, it's also kojic acid and niacinamide, and I thought there was like one more thing. Might just be kojic acid, HQ, and niacinamide. But it was enough to see a difference, and I was like, why haven't I been using this? And so I won't really be using it all over my body for long term, because you guys know after about 4 months you have to take a break from HQ anyways. So I'm just using it just to like jumpstart things because I have a superficial tan, and that's just from not taking glutathione and also not being completely protected from the sun. And usually I get sun when I'm in the car. I'm smart enough to not go somewhere in, like, you know, a dress without sleeves, or, you know, no pants where my thighs are exposed. I'm usually pretty smart about doing, you know, long sleeves and long pants if I'm gonna be outside, but usually in the car I'll get a ton of sun. It's terrible. So now I'm just using this, and I was just surprised how quickly it worked. So I'll probably just be using it for a couple of weeks just to start lightening things up, and then I will just be using it on my my difficult spots. So for me, my difficult spots are, I have some hyperpigmentation like around the inner areas of my thighs. I'll be using it on my knuckles, my hands, because my hands get a lot of sun when I'm driving. And yeah, places like that, knees, knuckles, elbows, things like that, and then the hyperpigmentation spots. So yeah, I'm really excited. And then I'm thinking about maybe adding like a pearl powder to it, because like I take pearl powder internally, but I knew that like you could use it as a topical and it gives really good results too. So once I get the recipe like down pat, I will be like offering a cream through Patreon of all of what I just said, the HQ, the niacinamide, all of that, the kojic acid, but it'll only be basically for you know, just like the trouble areas, not just for full body, just because it's like, I don't know how many times I'm gonna be able to re-up my prescription. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so far I'm just really impressed with it, and I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I'm excited that it is working. And then for basically internal, I'm going to go with acetyl glutathione. I'm going with acetyl just because it's been around for a very long time. It's not experimental at all. I'm gonna be using acetyl powder, acetyl glutathione powder, just because I wanted it kind of like in bulk so I can take large amounts of it. I plan on taking anywhere from 1200 milligrams a day to 2000 milligrams a day, you know, and it is blended with other things. And so once I've been on it for I guess a couple weeks or so, then I could see, okay, is the 1200 milligrams working, or do I need to up it to the 2000 milligrams? Either way, acetyl is definitely a glutathione booster. Even just adding it to a regular reduced glutathione like rectal syringe regimen and doing the acetyl like every other day, I mean, there's always results with acetyl. Just for me, I never took it over, I think, 600 to 800 milligrams. So this will be the most I've ever taken. And from what I've seen online from other people taking it, it does give really quick results. So I think with just doing the all over body, the lightening cream, and then doing such a huge dose of acetyl, that I should be good to go. I just kind of wanted to jumpstart things because yeah, I'm basically kind of starting from zero right now. And, you know, you just have to go kind of extreme just to get things started. So I'm really excited with that. The 1200 milligrams or 2000 milligrams of acetylglutathione that I'll be taking, it will have pro powder internally. So I'll be using it because I've been using the pro powder internally when I remember to take my glutathione, which is like never, because I was trying out the Hithion and for some reason I just could not keep up with it. So I can't even give like an honest like review on it just because I did not keep up with it consistently for months on end. But at least we know acetyl like works. There's no question of, oh, this is new, will it work? Like we already know it works. So I'm just gonna stick with what I know. So I'll be doing pro powder, acetyl, and I'm just gonna mix it up. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of powder already mixed up, so I can just take it by the scoop. But yeah. And the acetyl, the pro powder, and then I also want to do chlorophyll, but powdered chlorophyll. So all in all, I like the chlorophyll because basically it oxidizes your blood. So it'll definitely help with circulation, getting everything through my blood. And that's how, like, when you guys, usually I talk about the chloroxygen. It's the chlorophyll droppers and how they change your skin. And you can usually notice a difference like within 24 to 48 hours of using it. Sadly, as soon as you stop using it, it goes away. So it's not a long-term thing. Well, not long-term, just the results aren't long-term. It's like every day you have to take it. It's not like glutathione where it builds up into your blood or into your system and then you can actually wean yourself off of it after using it for like a certain amount of months. Like with chlorophyll, you always have to use it. But I've been using it on and off for years now, and I just like that. It gives my skin a real life glow. Almost like when people like get bronze, like spray tans, and like their skin is like glowing. It definitely is different than anything my skin can do by itself. So that's why I like to take it. So I just basically want that all mixed up, and I don't know, I'm either gonna do it in like little packets so I know exactly how much chlorophyll's in there, how much of the pro powder, how much of the acetylglutathione, and then I can just take that daily and just be done with it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. And then of course I'll just take the liposomal glutathione or liposomal vitamin C on the side. And I'll try to look into ester C. It's a vitamin C derivative. It's supposed to be supposed to go through the blood-brain barrier, and yeah, I don't know. I got kind of worried. I found some articles on it where people were like kind of comparing it to ascorbic acid, and it's like but they were also talking about using it in topicals and what companies are using it, and it's like I don't know. I would just take ascorbic acid rather than the ester C. Which is, it's like a vitamin C ester, should I say. But I didn't see anything saying that it was like so much better than ascorbic acid. So just stick with like liposomal vitamin C. Ascorbic acid, I recommend that if you are on a budget. But when you're taking ascorbic acid, you have to make sure that you take it in very, very small doses. So small doses all throughout the day. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but that's the only way that it'll get into your system without basically just going into your urine. So it's kind of tricky, but if you do liposomal vitamin C, you just take it and at least you'll be fine in knowing that like your body's actually able to absorb it and you're not just going to, you know, bypass it, or it's not going to get broke down by your stomach acid. Anyways, a little segue on vitamin C, but that's what's happening over here. And I'll talk more about all of that stuff on my Patreon, and yeah, what I finally like, I guess, decide to do as far as the acetyl glutathione. Like I wanted it in bulk just so I can make the packets like as like big as I want as far as the dosage. So right now I'm thinking 12,000 to 2,000 milligrams, but if I see after a couple weeks that I could actually increase it to 4,000 or take a 12,000 milligram packet twice a day, or maybe even a 2,000 milligram packet twice a day, then I definitely will. It's just why I'm so uncertain about it is that people say that when taking large amounts of acetylglutathione, which large amounts are considered to be about 1,000 milligrams. Like acetyl, usually people only take like 600 to 800 in the skin lightening community. So this is already a really, really large amount, but it's supposed to be that acetyl is way more potent than, you know, reduced glutathione, obviously, and liposomal. So assuming that's true, I've never tested it because when I was taking it, this was back in 2020, I was doing acetyl glutathione. When I was taking it, I never went over the 800 milligram dose. So I don't feel like I gave it a great shot. You guys know if you're taking liposomal glutathione, you have to take like close to 5,000 milligrams. Even though it's liposomal, a lot of the other skin lightening forums, gurus, whatever, definitely agree that they only saw the results after they got close to that 5,000 milligrams a day. With acetyl, you're supposed to be able to get there with less glutathione because it's supposed to be so potent. So we'll see if that's true. And then, like I said, I'll have the updates on Patreon about, okay, are we settling on, does 12,000 to 2,000 milligrams do it? Or is it like, does it need like 4,000 milligrams? But we shall see.